Have you ever looked at somebody else's life who hasn't worked as hard as you, who hasn't struggled as hard as you, and you just watched them level up effortlessly, and you thought, that's not fair. How did they get all of that? And I'm a good person, and yet I'm still struggling. Be honest. That little twinge of jealousy or upsetness, whatever you want to call it, that quiet grumble in your spirit, that, yeah, we've all been there. But what if I told you that that feeling right there, that sense of unfairness, is the very thing blocking your abundance? The very thing blocking your abundance. Because what if the universe isn't keeping score the way that you think it is? When everything seems unfair, what if it really is? By the end of this decoded session, you're going to understand why the last will be first and the first will be last. And you're going to learn how to stop working so hard trying to pull your blessings up and learn how to receive them by grace. We're going to decode the parable of the workers in the vineyard. And trust me, this one just might blow your mind this time. I am SatRah Anuket, and you already know what time it is. We are decoding parables and allegories in a way they ain't never taught you in church. We're uncovering hidden esoteric truths using the 7 Hermetic Principles so that you can activate your Christ consciousness through your inner waters. This is part 8 of my 9-part series of the 9 states of heaven. And in my last video, we talked about letting the weeds grow with the wheat and the power of non-resistance. But today, we're tackling something that trips up even the most advanced spiritual students: the illusion of fairness, completion, spiritual seniority, and spiritual immaturity. We're going deep into Matthew 20, and I'm going to show you why the divine doesn't pay by the hour and why that's the best news that you're ever going to hear today. We're going to get into the mechanics of your inner vineyard. So here's the scene, which on the surface sounds like an HR nightmare. I'm going to go ahead and read Matthew 20 just so y'all know. So basically, a landowner goes out at 6 a.m. and hires workers for his vineyard. He agrees to pay them for Denarius, a fair's day of wage, and then he goes out at 9, 3, and even 5, with only 1 hour left in the working day. And he hires more workers and promises to pay them whatever's right. And so when quitting time comes, everybody gets the same wage, a full denarius. So we're going to pause for a second and look at the etymology of the word denarius. Its origin is Latin, and it means, its meaning is containing 10 or of 10. So the denarius was a small silver coin introduced by the Roman Empire around 211 BC. Its name came from its original value, which was 10 asses. The asses was another kind of Roman coin, basically. It's the symbol of the coin, which was often the Roman numeral X, which is the numeral number for 10. In Cali, we call that a dime. So linguistically, the root for denarius is actually taken on several different kinds of life forms and currencies in countries like Iraq and Jordan and Kuwait and Serbia, and even Spanish, where they call it dinero, right? And Latin and Italian, it's called dinero as well, but just spelled a little differently. So basically, they all agreed to get paid an equal amount on the scale of 10, the number of completion and fulfillment, 1 and 0. Without going too much into a rabbit hole with the significance of that number, basically it just stands for cracking the code on your currency. And so the ones who worked 1 hour got the same as the one who worked 12 hours. And the early workers, the one who worked 12 hours, they lose it, right? They're like, oh, this isn't fair. We bore the burden of the work and in the heat of the day. But the landowner looks at them and says something piercing. He says, friend, I'm not being unfair to you. Didn't you agree to work for a dub? Don't I have the right to do what I want to do with my own money? It's my money. I can do whatever the hell I want to in it. Are you envious because I'm generous? Are you being a hater because I got all this money? And then drop the punchline. So the last will be first and the first will be last. Now, if you're reading this with the natural mind, it sounds like a hard lesson, like a sense of arrogance. But if you read it metaphysically, you see that this is actually a map of your own consciousness, because the Bible is a manual for your own mind. And this parable really shatters everything of how you think blessings work. And I just love it so much. So let's just go ahead and decode it. First, let's identify the players in this drama, right? Because you play the role of every character, because they're all operating inside of you. So the landowner is the divine mind. It's the universal law of supply, the infinite fountain, and the abundance that is always seeking to express through you and as you, because everything comes through you, not to you. Just think about it. Whenever you feel a feeling, that feeling is coming through you. Even when you feel upset and you project that upsetness out to somebody else, you got to feel it before you project it. So the landowner doesn't stay in the house. He's going out all day long, because you got 70,000 thoughts per day. And the landowner is looking for idle workers, idle thoughts. So this tells you something crucial, that our conscious mind is always looking to do something. It's always looking to work and solve problems. Spirit is perpetually active and always extending an invitation to you to receive a job, a task, to receive something for your good, or to receive, depending on how you use it, right? And you're never forgotten. You're never late. It's always going to get you at whatever hour, and it's going to give you the same opportunity, the same today, yesterday, and tomorrow. So now let's look at the vineyard. The vineyard is the branch of your life. If you think about a branch, a lung, a brachial, it's all the same thing. It's the air, it's your body, it's your relationships, your finances, your creative expression, the entire field where the fruit of your consciousness is grown, because a branch grows the fruits of consciousness. So the work of growing this fruit, if you haven't noticed, is not physical labor. It's the activity of your mind aligning with the truth, and it's coming from the inside out. So the workers in this story are your different states of consciousness. The early workers, the ones at 6 a.m., they represent your consciousness that struggle earnings, right? It's time of your part of your mind that believes in a linear exchange that's in this physical world, right? So I work hard, I play hard, I put in the time, I get the reward. This is, your cardinal mind, the belief that you've got to sweat, strive, and to earn things. It's the part of you that feels like nothing can come easy. You got to pay your dues. And then the later workers, the ones that are at 9, 12, 3, and 5, they represent a progression that you have within your spiritual maturity towards surrender and grace. And the last workers, the ones that come at the 11th hour with only 1 hour left, they're the ones that are in the ultimate state. They didn't negotiate. They didn't demand a contract. They simply said, no one hired us, and showed up with open hands, with receptive faith. Like, hey, we just been standing here chilling. We ready. The work was their trust, and they received the full reward instantly. They weren't even worried about getting a job. So the denarius, the denaro, the penny is your full divine manifestation, the penny for your thoughts, because you'd be rich, and you really would, because we have 70,000 thoughts per day. So penny for your thoughts, 70,000, it's wholeness, it's peace, it's abundance, it's the complete idea of your good, the kingdom come into your life, that the majority of your penny thoughts that you are focused on, that you are having, the majority of your 70,000 thoughts are focused on the kingdom, because as above, so below. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, as within, so without. It's law written in the scriptures. And here's the truth that will really set you free. The denarius is the same for everybody. Everybody gets the same denarius, not because the universe is unfair, but because the universe is infinite. Think about that for a second. Everybody gets the same amount of currency. We all have the same amount of abundance accessible to us. Your worth isn't measured by how long you've struggled. Your worth is inherent. Your divine birthright of abundance that is built into your identity of being a child of the Most High. It's a genetic divine birthright encoded in your DNA. You got royalty in your DNA. The gift is the same for anyone who accepts the invitation of divine oneness. It's no different. But the early workers in this story, the ones that were struggling, that striving part of our consciousness, it can't compute this, right? It's like, what? It's because it's trying to rationalize. It grumbles. It compares, right? It's egoic. It says that's not fair. I've been doing this longer. I've been through more. Why did they get the breakthrough before me? And then the landowner's response is the key to this whole parable. Are you envious because I'm generous? Ouch. You a hater because I got it? This question is for you. This question is for me. This question is for everyone who's looked at anybody else's blessing. I don't care if you're highly blessed, somebody that might have the latest car out. You got the latest car, but they got it before you. And yours is coming next month, and you're just mad that you got to wait a month. That little bit of feeling, that twinge, that grumbling, isn't like some ancient Hebrew worker in the Bible. Like, it's the voice of our ego. It's our sense of separation from our own divine abundance. It's the part of us that believes in scarcity. It's our spiritual immaturity that thinks that something is accessible to someone else and it's not accessible to us. It's the moment that you compare your journey to someone else's and you begrudge someone else's good. And when you do that, you slam the door on your own abundance. You're essentially saying their blessing means that I have lack. And somehow I don't get what I want, whether I don't have it yet, or I don't have it right now, or I just don't have it. And by feeling that, by saying that internally, is directly denying the infinite. It's directly denying the unconditional, infinite, available nature of God, by declaring that over your life, by speaking that with feeling and commanding that into your life. So how do you reverse this? How do you stop being the grumbler? I'm going to give y'all these steps. Number 1, stop keeping spiritual time cards. Release the belief that you have to struggle, suffer, or put in the time to deserve abundance. That is the old consciousness. That's the early worker mindset, that you feel like you got to earn good in order to be accepted. Say this with me to yourself. I don't have to earn my blessings. They are my birthright. I receive my divine inheritance now, and I give thanks. Number 2, accept your 11th hour invitation. No matter how late the situation seems, no matter how long you've been waiting, no matter how desperate you feel it looks, because your sense of ego and pride, is feeling like, oh, I don't want to do this because of how it looks. Do I look too old to be doing this? Do I look desperate if I'm out here doing this? Don't worry about any of that. It is never too late. The moment that you shift your consciousness from struggle to receptive faith, you're hired. You're immediately in alignment with the law, and grace is given to you instantly. Say this with me. Affirm. Though it appears to be the 11th hour, right now I accept my divine assignment. I am in alignment with my divine assignment. I am in the right place. I am in the right time. And my infinite supply is manifesting right here, right now, and I expect it. Number 3, rejoice in everybody's good. This is a non-negotiable practice. If y'all don't do anything else, if number 3 is the only thing that you do, the only thing that you take away from this video, when you see somebody else get their blessing, even if they didn't work as hard for it, even if they don't deserve it, bless it, celebrate it. Know that their Denario doesn't diminish yours. It just confirms the infinite nature of the source. Every blessing, every piece of abundance that you see in this world in front of you is proof of the abundance of the Creator. So say, I bless so-and-so's success. It is proof of the abundant supply. Like, even if you see a car on the freeway and it's the car that you want and you don't know the driver, I bless that man's abundance. I see that it's a proof of the supply. I bless his abundance, that it's proof, and I'm also a part of that supply, including me. I bless that car because I'm in that car club too. Include yourself. See yourself in that car, in that house, whatever it is. Bless it because you know that it's available for you too. And this brings us to the final piece, because gods, with the lowercase g, ye are gods, aren't left stranded in the vineyard. Scripture has given us the master key in Matthew 13:52 in the parable of the net, where it says, therefore, every teacher of the law who has become a disciple in the kingdom of heaven is like the owner of a house who brings out of his storeroom new treasures as well as old. This is you. This is me. This is we. This is anyone who has claimed the kingdom of heaven within their own mind, within their own consciousness. The house in this scripture is your consciousness. You are its owner. You are the CEO. You are the driver of this vehicle. You have absolute authority over what you allowed to reside here in this vehicle, in this meat suit of a body that you're operating, this avatar. You're the owner, you're the operator of it. And the storeroom is your subconscious mind. It's where you've stored every thought, belief, every treasure. You know, your subconscious mind is the greatest supercomputer ever to ever have been in existence. It's your Akashic records, it's ancestral DNA and memory stored in there. It's everything that you've ever accumulated in every single timeline. That's how amazing your supercomputer subconscious mind is. And so your old treasures, they're external spiritual laws, things that you may have valued in the past, the ones that never change, the law of divine supply, the law of non-resistance, the law of forgiveness, the things that are your foundation, that are great, are good old treasures. The new treasures are your fresh revelations, the things that like click. You ever read a book and then like read it again years later and you get something out of it, like it's a new treasure to you? Those answered prayers, those you know, it's those sudden deja vu, happy surprises, the healings, the creative ideas that show up that help you in a way that nothing else can. Those are the new treasures. And the wise householder, the one who has become a disciple of their own kingdom, a disciple of their own mind, knows how to bring out both. It knows how to balance both. And you've noticed that there is a balance in all of this because this is universal law. You know, 4 of the 7 of the universal laws are dual in nature. You have correspondence, you have cause and effect, you have polarity, and you have the law of gender. So there is a balance that we have to do universally, cosmically, even within our conscious and our subconscious mind. You know, us being Jesus, God's manifested into the flesh, we have to master the spirit and the flesh part of us. So there is constantly a mastery that is going on infinitely for eternity, that where we are harmonizing within this yin and this yang and this balance of what we experience and what we call life. So when lack shows up, because it always will, you're always going to be balancing, you bring out the old treasure. You bring out the old tools, the old tried and true, you know, the old affirmations that work for you. I have an affirmation where I say, my mind is God's mind. God's mind is my mind, that I got from Florence Scovel Shin. I love her affirmations. They really, really resonate and hit with a frequency that really resonates in my soul. And I've customized some of them, you know, to my own personal language. But those are my old treasures, those affirmations that I've had since like 2019. But I use those old to expect the new, that unexpected opportunity or that unexpected feeling of healing that is a result of me using my old treasure. And you don't just quote your old affirmations like an automaton, like a robot, right? You make sure that it has feeling and frequency and resonance to you. We're not chasing fads and trends here. We stand on foundation, solid things that work. We stand firmly on law. And from that place, you watch the new treasures flow. You stand on business and you stay on business and you stay standing on business and you stay in embodiment. So here's your assignment for this week, fam. I'm going to give y'all an assignment too. Take inventory of your storeroom. Take inventory where you've been strong. Notice where you have thoughts of lack or grudges or comparisons or thoughts of abundance, right? Notice your treasures too, your faith and your celebration, and just take inventory of, do a balance sheet of your own mind. And then I want you to, after you take inventory, go ahead and evict the false tenets. Any thought that tells you that you're behind, that you're less than, that you've missed your window, that you are too late, that you're too old, that you're too whatever, say it with authority, because you're the landowner. You're kicking these tenets out. Only that which is of God, because my mind is God's mind is my mind. Only that which is of God's mind is allowed in this house, and all else is barred. I kick y'all out. And do it and say it as many times as you need to. 70 times 70. And start bringing out those treasures in every situation that you face. Ask yourself, what is the old treasure standing here? And what's the new treasure that's coming, that's bringing forth? Like, I'm using this, but what do I want to see? What is the result that I want to see from this? And if you don't know what that clearly looks like, just think about the feeling. I don't want it to look like this. I'm going to use this. I don't know what it clearly looks like, but I know that I want to feel like this. You get what I'm saying? Like, because if you're not clear on what that picture is, sometimes you're not, but at least you know what you don't want to feel. It really is a daily effort. It really is something that you have to be a disciple for, something that you have to discipline your mind and develop that mental muscle. The kingdom of heaven isn't a meritocracy. Meritocracy is a holding of power by a group of people that are selected on a basis of their ability to be like top performers. It's merit-based. It's a graceocracy. You don't get what you earn. You get what you're willing to receive and be receptive to. It's understanding that in order to receive, you got to have an open hand, that you can't receive with a closed fist. And in order to do that, you've got to release, you've got to open, and you've got to stop putting forth the effort. So that means you got to stop pocket watching. You got to stop clock watching. You got to stop complaining. You got to stop grumbling and just show up in the vineyard with open hands and receptive and with faith, with feeling, and understand that everyone gets the same Denarius. Everybody gets the same Denario. The kingdom of heaven is everyone's birthright. Your Denario is already yours. It's already waiting for you. You just got to claim and align with it. So until next time, y'all, we got one more parable to cover in this 9-part series. But don't forget the most powerful thing of all. You are the light. Just be it. Shine. Peace. Be well.